Hey guys, welcome back to the Connoisseur Reviews. This Sunday is SmackDown Live's exclusive pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, and I just want to run down the match card and just give you my thoughts and opinions on what's going to happen this weekend. And before we get started, I just wanted to say that this card actually looks like it's going to be SmackDown's best pay-per-view in some time. A lot of their recent ones have been kind of disappointing, and even some of their matches on SummerSlam weren't that great, aside from maybe the tag team match. And as for Raw on the other side, has been pretty much killing it with their pay-per-views. Great Balls of Fire was great. No Way Out was, for the most part, pretty good show, aside from the last few matches, which were more disappointing than anything because they were so overhyped. So for Hell in a Cell, it actually looks like it's going to be a pretty good, solid pay-per-view with some really exciting matches, and albeit there are some that we've seen a few times before, and we couldn't really we couldn't really care much for. So let's get started. The first match is going to be Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus the Hype Bros. We've seen this matchup a few times, so it's not going to be anything too special. Maybe they will surprise us, who knows. But I'm thinking Gable and Benjamin are going to win, and it'll just be a way for them to kind of solidify themselves as a team so they can finally go after the tag titles, hopefully eventually, if they get utilized well, because for the most part they haven't been utilized or shown too much, so maybe this is a stepping stone for them so they can finally be on the main show more often. The next match is Randy Orton versus Rusev. We've seen this several times, and both matches were probably maybe at most like 25 seconds long. So we both know like Randy Orton can put on some good matches, and Rusev can put on some great matches. So their pairing, we haven't really seen like, extensive match, so this is a good time for them to both kind of shine, and I think it could be a solid match. I'm not too excited for it, but there's potential there, definitely, for sure. The next match is Rude versus Ziggler. I feel like we haven't seen this matchup before, but we've definitely seen this type of match. Feels like Ziggler's become more of a glorified jobber, because he pretty much has a rivalry with any new talent that comes to the main roster, and then he kind of just helps them solidify themselves as quality contenders. And I feel like it's going to be an easy win for Bobby Roode here, but it has a chance of being a pretty good match. I mean, Ziggler is a great performer, and Roode's a good performer, so their matchup together could be really exciting. It's just, I'm kind of tired of just seeing Ziggler kind of not go anywhere, and his gimmick right now is interesting and funny, but I don't see any potential, like growth. I mean, I think he might come out to the Glorious music. That would be kind of funny. But, I mean, aside from maybe being a solid match, I don't see any, like, story progression, and I kind of feel bad for Ziggler. But it's a good way for Roode to, step up, have a solid contender, and to become more credible superstar. More so than he already is. The next match is New Day versus the Usos, which has been pretty much like match of the night, like for the last few pay-per-views, because they've been putting on a clinic. Like, their matches have been great, exciting, fun to watch. Their back and forth smack talking has been great and exciting too. And now it's going to be in a Hell in a Cell, where it's a good way to end feud, so hopefully this is a way to end the feud without it becoming stale. I mean, I don't mind seeing it maybe continue, but I feel like Hell in a Cell should be a way to end feuds, and because it's going to be all in, and I wonder which combination of the New Day is going to go up against the Usos. Most likely Big E is going to be in it, so I don't know if it's going to be Xavier Woods or Kofi Kingston, so we'll see. But I feel like this is a good way for New Day to win, mostly because there's rumors going that they're going to break another streak or something like that. So I think the New Day is going to win. And then the next matchup after that is Charlotte versus Natty. We've seen this before. We saw it earlier last year when Charlotte went on to become... was Divas champion, and then eventually, had her heel turn and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, both women are great wrestlers. Charlotte's probably one of the greatest wrestlers, male or female, working today. She's exciting in the ring. Natty is great as well. And I think they're both put on a pretty good show. Hopefully, because we've known they can put on some stinkers too. But I feel like this has a chance because it's one of the few women's title matches which is going to be one-on-one. And on one-on-one competition, Natty and Charlotte both can put on some really good spots. And so this one could be a pretty solid match. I think Charlotte's going to win, and then possibly Carmella's going to cash in, because this seems like a good opportunity to cash in, because it'll be a feel-good moment for Charlotte. And then when's the best time to cash in? When it's a good feel-good moment where the audience is behind you, and then you just come out looking like a worse heel and get a lot of heat. So Charlotte wins, and I think Carmella might cash in. So that one's up in the air, but Charlotte's definitely winning. The next match is Styles versus Corbin. I feel like this match is already kind of stale because I feel like we've seen it go on for weeks now. I wish it was a triple threat with Ty Dillinger, because that would have added more excitement to the match and a little bit more unpredictability. And it won't make it feel bad if Corbin does lose and destroy all his credibility, and it won't make Styles look weak if he loses to, say, Corbin, who's been on such a terrible losing streak. As for who's going to win this match, I think it's going to be Corbin, just because he's been on such a bad losing streak, and this would be a great way for AJ to kind of ditch the US title picture and probably go back to the WWE Championship, where he belongs more. He's done a pretty good job bringing back credibility to the US title, but I feel like it's time for him to move on, because he could be doing bigger and better things. The next match is Mahal versus Nakamura. I'm not excited for this match at all. Like, all the build-up has been kind of lame and bad, and I know a lot of people are saying there's been like racist moments and stuff like that, but whatever. I mean, their last match was kind of sad. Like, it wasn't exciting. They don't work well with each other. There's no chemistry, and the build-up has just been so disappointing. And I usually like the WWE title to be the main event, but I'm glad it's not, and unfortunately it's going to be relegated to probably the bathroom break match right before the actual main event, and I don't know if it's going to be a good match or not. I don't think it is, and I think Jinder Mahal's going to win it again, just because there's been rumors going around saying that they want him to hold it till WrestleMania and possibly feud with Cena, or maybe even someone else, but I feel like it's not an appropriate time for him to lose it yet. So that's that. And I feel like there's going to be Singh Brothers shenanigans, so it'll still make Nakamura look strong, but not destroy all credibility if he loses. And then the last match is the main event. It's Shane versus Owens in a Hell in a Cell Falls Count Anywhere match, which is in a way redundant because I mean, I guess we'll get some great spots outside of the cell, which is almost guaranteed because it's Falls Count Anywhere, but it won't, diminish any kind of. I don't think we're going to lose out on any quality because it's, we can be pinned outside of the ring, and we'll get some spots maybe in the audience on the ramps, and Shane's going to go crazy because, Shane's a spot fest junkie. I don't know why. He's, and Owens' ruthlessness is going to be able to show just because he can throw Shane around in all sorts of directions and arenas and whatnot, and just show his brutality. And this feels like the build-up has been really great, like all of it, and it feels like a main event kind of thing, like something we would see at like a Big Four pay-per-view, maybe like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania. And the thing with this match is that it's not quite like the AJ versus Shane one, but it has the seeds to be a great match. It was because that Shane versus AJ match earlier in the year, not a lot of us expected much, but they stole the show as one of the top 2 or 3 matches of that night, if not the best match of the night. So I feel like Owens and Shane they're definitely going to steal the show, and there's going to be some great spots. I think Owens is going to win just so he can get some cred, and you know, build up to longer career, maybe towards like a WWE picture or something else, bigger and better, or maybe it'll culminate into something bigger at Survivor Series maybe later down the line. So we'll see. But I feel like Owens is gonna win, and Shane is just gonna kill it. He's gonna steal the night and have the moment of the night. So that's my predictions for WWE Hell in a Cell. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good show. Like I said, the Shane and Owens match looks great. The New Day versus the Usos I think is going to be a great match because they've been pretty much stealing the show. Charlotte versus Natty, for the most part, looks like a really exciting match. I'm not too excited about Mahal versus Nakamura or even Rude and Ziggler. I mean, Rude and Ziggler at least has a chance of being a solid match. I feel like Nakamura and Mahal, it's going to be disappointing. And unfortunately, the WWE title is going to be relegated to probably a bathroom break, unfortunately. But that's my opinion for the show. Hopefully it's a good show. And I'll have a reaction video posted later. You guys can follow me on my various social media sites at AwesomeArnoldK, or my Tumblr at TheConnoisseur Reviews. And if you like these types of videos, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.